Hey, YouTube friends and family, it's the Bad Wolf. So, I was contacted a while ago by actually multiple people, but one person in particular, and she had asked me if there was a way to protect her kids against uh, forced or mandated vaccines, GPS tracking, child protective services, things of that nature. And what's interesting is I had thought about doing this for my son a long time ago, and myself, and things of that nature. Actually, even before the whole U.S. national thing. So, as far as the U.S. national thing, for the most part, as a U.S. national, you are protected from that because most of that stuff is on the federal side. Um, some of it could eventually hit the state side, which would affect people who are kind of state citizens, I guess, if you will. Because what does it really mean to be, a U.S. national? Is basically you are in a nation of all of the states. So as long as at least one state is like not doing a forced vaccination, um, has a freedom, is open to whatever, you fall into that category. That's what it really means to be a U.S. national. So you are a citizen of all of the states, which are all the 50 states that are in the United States of America Republic. Um, so what I'm going to talk about today is the Affidavit of Life and Health, which is something that I put together. I've seen other ones out there not as intact or as complete or covered as many areas as mine, because I'm very methodical when it comes to trying to make sure there's no loopholes, no ways they can reverse it or use things against you. So I combined a number of different aspects. So what's really all in it? It's a combination of basically denouncing their authority over you through the Social Security card, birth certificates, things of that nature. Now, you're not renouncing your citizenship. You're basically letting them know that you are fully aware that that is a form of contractual obligation. And then the way I have it written is you're breaking it down that you understand that, but that also is something that is only in concerns to the straw man, which is you or your child's all capitalized name. So in that, I address that situation, squarely talk about uh, the Social Security, birth certificates, the different agencies, all those things combined, and that they don't have a contractual obligation on your body and the child. And if there was anything that was misconstrued in there, you are now formally making a declaration that you do not consent to any of those things. Now, one of the reasons why I believe that this is a huge thing is because right now there are no mandated laws, rules, penalties, um, and there may never be. They may never be. So this is kind of a peace of mind. By the time you're watching this video, well, at least right now, there is nothing. In the future, could there be? Yes. In the future, will there ever be? Maybe not. Don't know. So this is kind of, like I said, just a peace of mind of a potential outcome or a potential future, if you will. So if in fact that should happen, the reason why this would be beneficial is because you are making a claim now. You're essentially creating a contract with yourself. You're putting a formal public declaration out there that if they have anything to say about it, now is the time to address it or to try to break your claim, and they can't. So right now, or at least in this era, is a good window where you have something in place because you're forming a contract essentially with yourself, like a UCC1 filing, where if they don't stand against you, let's say within 30 days of you making a notice, because what you would do is you would buy the affidavit, which the information for that is down below. It's $100 for the file. I think it's like 8 pages, something like that, and you would get it notarized. So that would be recognized for recording purposes, and then you would send it out to your various forms, levels of government, local, state, Department of State, city, whatever, wherever you want it recorded. Um, and then basically it gives them 30 days to try to challenge it. And unless they can find valid ways to do that, then by acquiescence, they don't have that jurisdiction. You're letting them know right then and there that this is how I feel, this is what I'm standing for, and even though I might be a U.S. citizen, I'm putting my foot down and saying that this is my contract I'm making with myself. So unless you try to break this bubble now, you can't break it in the future because you didn't say anything about it now. So it kind of gives you a protective shield around it. Now, that being said, at the end of the day, they are still going to be the ones with the guns. They're still going to be the ones who, might just knock down doors and do some crazy stuff because the way things are going, you never know. But as far as legally and as far as by nationality, you are protecting yourself and your kid, your dog, all these things from anything that's going to be forced. And at the end of the form, I actually have a spot in case I didn't cover something that you want to add in there. And of course, all my forms are alterable. All you have to do is just type in their information, or you can handwrite it in there. Then I would suggest going and getting it notarized, keeping a copy for yourself, and then sending out these copies or whatever else. So for the multiple people out there who have asked for this type of form, who don't want to deal with forced vaccinations, they want to protect against that kind of thing, this is what you've been waiting for. Okay, so what also is in there? I put information that has been used already, if you will, some of it, for situations like if your child goes to school and they want to try to force something on you in your local precinct or precinct district, that this is your opt-out, okay? Because basically, I give you a couple of different venues. Actually, I combine all the current venues possible in the statement or in this affidavit in statement form for you. So basically, it's your words in saying, due to my religious freedom, due to my being a U.S. national, due to there not being a current law against it and being a U.S. citizen or for it, that I'm opting out now. My right as, whatever else. I name off like 4 or 5 things that basically right now we're kind of ahead of the curve in this. So having something like this is not the silver bullet, but it's definitely going to put things, even if it comes down to a legal issue, because you are saying right now in this affidavit, this is your formal declaration that this is how I feel. I have the right to refuse these things, and you're kind of like shielding your child, your assets, yourself, your family, all in this one thing in this particular area. So that being said, what else is in there? There's information on like basically removing their ability to just come and say take your child or something, or just take your pet or whatever else, because you're putting it in, you're formally declaring it. Now you shouldn't have to declare your own kids, you shouldn't have to declare your own whatever, but remember, a lot of you are living out there even as nationals, and you haven't really declared some of your own property materials. Okay, a lot of people who are living out there as just U.S. citizens who don't want to be nationals. You are property of them, and they consider your property basically to be their property. Okay, because you've never made a distinction, a separation of those things. So it's kind of like if you say, "Well, I work for Microsoft, and some Microsoft employee," and they believe then your whole body is Microsoft employee. You can't just say, "Well, my foot's not." At least that's how they look at it, and then you have to try to fight and prove your rights and whatever else. So something like this, definitely getting it notarized, definitely going to your local county recorder and having it recorded, so then they have a stamp on it and you get a copy of that, is good. And I would even do that first and then send it out to the other ones so that you can show that it's been notarized, it's been taken to your local county recorder, recorded there, and then sending it all out. What else is in there? The other parts of it are just kind of like exclusive to those people who buy it. I don't want to give away everything, but trust me, it's what I'm using for me and mine. And there's also other tidbits like if they do violate these things, if the school does, because what happens if your child's already at school or your dog's over here, or you're out at work, and then they try to give you a forced vaccination at work. It's already been done. Let's just say you didn't have a choice, you didn't know it was coming, you did it. Okay. Well, with this having already been out there, you can't use it after the fact, but if you have it out before, there's fines and penalties for this. So for them, if they say, well, we didn't know you had this in place, well, ignorance of the law is no excuse. Ignorance of a contract is no excuse. If you did this forcibly, then here's the fine. And so your fine could be, you can change it. I think in mine, it's like, $250,000 or $500,000. So if you're going to take my child and give them a forced, vaccination, I don't know what that's going to do to them. And they're going to be like, well, you're as a U.S. citizen or whatever else. Nope. I made this declaration. I put it out there to the city, the state, the Department of State. I sent one to, whatever. That's what it is. I'll take you to court and you're going to pay this fine because it's already been out there. It's been established that you aren't trying to take part in any of that. So that's really about it, guys. For those people who want it, now this isn't for everybody. And for those people who are like, well, I'm not really religious, that's okay. You don't have to be. This is just claiming that you have the right to have freedom of religion and that you're claiming it underneath that. What the religion actually is, you can make up a word like whatever and say, yep, that's my religion. And it's called, I don't want to get a vaccine and my child ain't going to get a vaccine. And that's what it is because you have that right. So I try to take care of all those little things that encompasses your protection because I wrote it for myself and for my child. So hopefully it should be good enough for you guys. And for those people who do want it, like I said, the information is down below in the description box. All the information down there on the offers, other files, discounts, and whatever, all down there. So that's about it, guys. So for those people who've asked for it, this is your no vaccination, anti-vaccination paperwork to get notarized and filed. And of course, you can always make up your own. I have only seen one or two that were like one page or a paragraph. Mine is pretty well all-encompassing, just like I made for the explanatory statements and all the other files and affidavits that I've created. Is I try to make it for me. So nothing against you guys, but I try to do it for me and mine. So when I'm sitting around, you guys don't see these videos, it's because I'm sitting around going through the dictionary and getting the terms and all this other stuff. And I'm not Mr. English, so if you see something, change it, fix it, add your own information. That's what it's all about, is us trying to stay ahead of the curve and trying to stay as healthy and protected from people who want to take away our rights and things of that nature, and in return give us benefits and privileges that they can take away. So that's about it, guys. If this is something for you, go ahead and check it out. Hit me up. You know how to. And have yourself a good day. Stay healthy, stay wise, and enjoy the summer, because I know I am. All right, talk to you guys later.